Hi, not too long ago I put up a video in which I challenged myself to try and paint 50 of the Indomitus set Necron warriors in a single weekend. Those were far from the first Necrons I've ever painted though. As you can see here, I've actually been collecting Necrons since they were first released, right at the end of second edition. When the range was redone, I sort of skipped a generation in collecting the basic figures, although I did buy some of the different types of units that hadn't been originally available. But the release of Indomitus and another generation of Necron figures really gave me the chance to just start from scratch and produce an entirely new army, and that is what I'm going to be looking at today. To start the new Necron Army, I got two of the Indomitus sets. The first came from an actual Indomitus box set that I bought, and for the second one, I just got the Necron half off eBay, and this is going to be a really good core to my army. For leadership, I have a pair of Necron Overlords with their Royal Wardens. I have two Plasmancers with their Cryptothrals, a pair of Plasmacytes, numerous Scarab Swarms, of course, and a good solid core of Necron warriors. I've got 40 in total here, so I've given 20 of them each of the weapon options. Then for heavier support, there are destroyers, both Skorpek and Hexmark, and there's the pair of Canoptek reanimators. So that's the force around which I will be building my new army. I was able to expand on my core army with some of the figures that already existed within my collection. The first component of these is this little group here, and these come from the Forgebane box set, which had Necrons versus Adeptus Mechanicus. It was released some time before Indomitus. I was really after the not the Necrons, but the Adeptus Mechanicus figures from that set, but I was quite happy to keep hold of the Necrons. I assembled them but never painted them, so that means that they only got painted after I got the newer models, but these now allow me to add in a Cryptek, 5 Lichguard, 5 Death Marks, and 3 Canoptek Wraiths. I had also bought a couple of character models to add into my army. I've got Trazyn the Infinite and a Shard of the Nightbringer, and they work perfectly well with the newer figures. These are still actually available from Games Workshop, so they were good to go as soon as I'd repainted them. And finally, I had a couple of vehicles which I thought would be useful for my army. There is an Annihilation Barge, which, because I assembled it as an Annihilation Barge and fixed the gun in place, I also had the Necron Lord, who would have been standing on top, so I was able to paint him up and add him into the army. And a Doomsday Ark for a bit of serious long-ranged firepower. I didn't have all the models available to me at the time that I wanted to add to the army though, so I've had to go out and buy some extras. And first amongst these are some more Necron warriors. I really wanted a large block of Necron warriors available, so I bought an extra 60, which gives me a total of 100. I got these off eBay rather than getting the box sets from Games Workshop, so although I have bought myself some more Scarab Swarms as well, the numbers don't quite match up for the amount you would get in a fresh box set. I've only got 15 extra sets of Scarab Swarms. I also bought myself a Combat Patrol set, so that gave me another Necron Lord as an alternative army leader. It gave me 10 figures that I've assembled as Necron Immortals. I've not assembled these as Death Marks at all. I've given them all Gauss weapons. It gave me a trio of Tomb Blades and a Doom Scythe. I also wanted to add in some other alternative infantry, and I've got 15 flayed ones. Now, I wasn't going to pay the price of the box set of flayed ones. I think it's about £35 for 5 at the moment. When I heard the Imperium magazine was going to have an issue that would have 5 of them on for about £10 or £11, I tried to find that in my local newsagents but couldn't. So I resorted to going to eBay, where I still had to pay £20 roughly for each 5, but it's still a saving on the regular price. One thing I will note about these is the kit is very fiddly. Be very patient if you're assembling these, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend them for novice modelers. Moving on though, I wanted some more vehicle support in my army, and I'm going to start with a pair of Triarch Stalkers. I also have a Knaptek Doom Stalker in there, and two more Flyers. These are assembled as Knight size rather than Doom size. I've got a Canoptic Spider, a Heavy Destroyer, and a Ghost Ark for some transport. So that gives me some reasonable vehicle support, and of course, to round out what it would be a Necron Army without a monolith. Now, I have had monoliths in the past. I've had the previous type. When I saw this kit, I thought, oh, this is a much nicer model, and I saw that it was going to be a Lord of War rather than just effectively a heavy tank in the sort of Land Raider classification as it used to be. And I thought it was going to be pretty big, especially when I saw the price was just over £100. In fact, this is about the same size as the previous model, so that really is a steep price increase, even if it is a much nicer model. But that lot now rounds out my Necron army. And of course, I will finish with a shot of the entire army laid out in all of its glory. Although I hope here I'm not giving too much away to anybody I may be planning to do a narrative campaign with featuring these Necrons, which would of course let him know what he could potentially be up against. But what other way to end the video. I do have plans for expanding this further. There's still some units I don't have. I also of course have the option of renovating some of my older figures, and I've actually got some examples here. I have repainted these two models already in the newer colour scheme, so I could add some more of the first generation figures. And more importantly, I also had to go doing up this older pattern monolith. Given the significant cost of a new monolith kit, I can't really say, oh, I'll just abandon the old ones. So this army may yet grow even larger. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.